peoples. This better be working. Let's try again. Trying again, trying again, trying again, trying again, trying again. Can you hear me now? I'm singing to myself. I'm also looking at myself on here. Where are you? See? Hopefully hear myself now. Double checking I'm live. Yes! Where are you? See? See? Live. Hopefully hear myself now. Thank you to all of those who reached out. I am now. Now I'm going to let people know that. Thanks. Sorted it now. To all those lovely people who have got in touch. Hi, my love, I'm working. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Right. So, where was I? So what I was saying this morning was, I listened to the radio, which I don't normally do, and heard some news that kind of, well, I heard about the budget and know the impact that's going to have, etc. So anyway, I've realised from listening to the news that actually I changed my state of being. I changed how I felt. I went from feeling fine, free and easy, which hasn't been that way all week. It's been an intense week energetically, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. But this time I just felt my energy dip. And I was like, oh, the collective fear. It's intense, guys. So we need to try and do stuff to combat this. That's why I've decided today what I'm going to do is take you through the From Fear Back to Love, a particular exercise in this journal, because what this exercise is going to do is to help you to understand how you currently respond when something happens, and kind of how you can respond better in a way that perhaps isn't so charged, etc. So this is in the section, what is your fear profile? Lovely friend has this picture. Okay. Now, fear. That which has us awake at night. That thing which tears us up inside and makes our lives feel awful, because it's such a clever magician. It likes to trick us, and it likes to have power over us. It comes from our subconscious, but messes with our conscious as it tries to convince us that what it's saying is real, and actually is happening when it isn't. There's a film called After Earth in which is this amazing explanation of fear. It's with Will Smith, if you haven't seen it, and he's talking to his son in it. And I'm sharing this quote in the hope that it resonates and you have that aha moment too. So, fear is not real. The only place it can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It's a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. And I used to have that printed up in my office. That was one of my first steps to me helping me get over the fear, was to keep reminding myself of that. Fear is not real. Fear is purely, it's not a present time thing. You cannot be in fear of something happening in the present. You react to danger in the present, but you cannot be fearful and have the thoughts. Well, you can have fearful thoughts of the future, but that's what I mean, is they are based on the future, which probably won't ever happen. And if you're feeling down, as I was the other day, is likely, because I was feeling rubbish before I had this MRI scan. I mean, checking out kind of rubbish. Really bad, emotional, could not stop crying. But I actually had the MRI scan and it was great because I got to go and meditate and talk to my angels during it, okay? So I'm going to show you now a picture. I wonder if I can do this. Bear with me. If I can share my screen, it would make it easier for you to see this. No. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to hold this up again, and I want to show you here. No, here, this road. This road here. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful road leading down to somewhere magical, actually. But here it says, look at this road. If you're afraid of the shadows along it, you'd never go down there. If you let fear goad you and scare you so you didn't move, you'd never find was at the end of that road, which, by the way, is an Italian silver sand beach with the most amazing massive bits of silver driftwood, where people have built these awesome dens and huts out of them. It's just fabulous. And it says, so some shadows are worth the risk, and it's the light at the end you see which needs to become your focus. And you only see the shadows because the light is shining. That's the thing to remember. The shadows are only showing because the light is shining. And at the very end, at the end there, is the brightest light. Okay? That's what you've got to focus on. But if you let fear control you, you're not going to go down the road at all, because you're just going to see those shadows. So, I am going to share my screen with you if I can now. I need to work out how I'm doing that now that I'm here. I don't know if I can, you know. Settings. Interactivity, polls, questions, graphics, prompts. Okay, fine. So I can't see quite how I now share my screen. If I'd have set it up as a screen sharing thing at the start, that would have been different, but I didn't, of course, as we don't. So I'm just going to quickly look to see if I can do that. Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that. So that's a real shame. I really wanted to share my screen. I'll hold up the book. Simple as that. We can do both. Not a problem. So, here we go. Now, what I want you to do is to look here. If I move over so it's right. Okay. Here. You see here, on this page, we've got lots of different coloured dots. Okay, and that is those dots are also the heading of this, the picture, the cover picture for this live video. So, I am going to, I still think I should be able to share my screen. If you can just bear with me a second, I want to just try and see if that's something I can do while I'm in a live, so hang on. Share screen whilst in a live on Facebook. Webcam is video source. Yeah, it's not very helpful, is it? Always, you know what it's like with these help things. They try and find out how to do it, and I'm not really able to. So it's fine. I will post the picture in the comments so you guys can actually see it. That probably makes sense to do that, so bear with me. Okay, again, I can't see how to share this screen at all now I'm doing it, but that's fine. I can't see anybody watching either, but that means, to be fair, with the amount of messing around it took with the audio, you might not have done it. Yay, hear you, there you are, got you, good, 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 good. Right, was hoping to share my screen, can't work out how to do it, bleh. Whatever. Oh, hang on, quick help. No, it's going to take me ages, right. So, I'm going to just do this way. You can remember that image, ladies, can't you? Because it's only ladies watching. Small dots, pink dots, darker dots. Okay? How fear can fuck up your days. and I'm going to read this. I used to live in such fear, such mistrust of other people. Because of my upbringing, I was always worried my partner would leave me for all sorts of reasons. And I went around looking for things all the time, like evidence that he was having affairs, evidence of all sorts. I'd leave for work after my husband every day. I'd always make sure I left after him, making myself late, so I could look through the house, looking for some kind of evidence of betrayal. Then I would come home, and I would look again, even though he'd not been home. Then one day, after I'd lost my dear Nan, who was pivotal actually in getting me and my husband together, he went to see her with me as friends, and she said, "Oh, you'll be very happy together for a long time, you and him." I was like, "Oh, no, he's not my boyfriend." She's like, "Oh, we'll see." Nans always know, right? But when I was rifling through the drawers at home, with my adrenaline pumping like, oh God, the fear, the sheer panic, I was feeling sick, and suddenly something just came over me and went, stop. And I think in hindsight it was my Nan who made me stop, because I got such a sense of overwhelm that life was too short to live in that fear. And I suddenly realised there was only one person making me feel crap, because I wasn't finding anything. That one person was me. Somebody's just messaged me, tell me you can hear me. So, I was the one making every day just that little bit more shit, because I was the one keeping that fear alive. And then this image with all the dots came to me like a light bulb moment. So I'll show you that again, and because I've kind of never forgotten it. So let's look down here. We have these small dots. Okay, they're just days. They're days with absolutely no fear. There you are. If I do that, you can see. So these dots here, days with no fear. Okay, the dots are small and a soft colour. Then these dots here, these are the days that are niggles, the what ifs, the little prickle at the neck that you start to worry about the future a bit. The dots tend to be bigger and darker. These days, wow, I'll cover that one up, not that you haven't seen it already. These days, these are the days with actual fear, okay? They're harsher, they're angrier, they're stronger, the fear feels real, it feels scary as hell, okay? But it is still just fear. But they're the days we have in our lives where there's fear. And then this, well, bugger me, that's the day that something big is happening. That's the day the shit's hitting the fan. That is the day that you have to fly by your pants because you've got no other bloody choice. You're just trying to get through it because stuff is actually happening. We're talking emergencies, we're talking big life events. It's when the adrenaline's really pumping. For a reason, that's when there's the danger. Think back to that quote. That's the day where there's a, oh shit, I've got to act on instinct, okay? But fear doesn't know that. Fear, these days, fear is trying to make you feel like that. Okay, and this is what we're trying to do. So in the journal I ask you to draw what your fear profile's like now, okay? But we can reset this. And it was such a, I don't know where the image came from, but it was such a light bulb moment for me. And again, if you look at this one here, at the top, you see, this is kind of what it would be great if each day looked like. So you've got this, it's like a month look like, or however many dots there are here. So each dot's a day. You've got, okay, I'm just moseying on. Yep, no fear, no fear, no fear. Oh, a bit of anxiety. Flippin' heck, that happens. Okay, now it's happened, we can carry on, we can carry on, we can carry on. Oh, a bit, once bitten, twice shy, the fear's starting to kick in again a bit over here. You see? If your days are filled with anxiety and panic, like mine were, and like I sometimes get, like how I got this morning, then you'll probably find, if you're drawing your fear profile like it says in the journal, that your dots are going to be bigger and larger and redder. So, when it happens that you've got more larger dots, the fearful days, then when something bad happens, you'll start to affirm all sorts of negative stuff like, oh, well, I knew that was going to happen. I saw that coming. Oh, can you see this? the two of you that I know are watching. Oh my god. Did you see my brain just go, aha? Did you? Did you see it? Right. Yeah. And that's why I've gone back into fear, because recently I've started that. I knew this would happen. I saw it coming. But believe me, it does make it much easier to deal with a major life event when you're doing it from a more balanced and surrendered space by choosing the smaller dots. So by choosing that actually your days are going to be less fearful than you're able to cope when something happens. Look, so like here. Okay, so behind each of these, you've got the big red dot, which is that, oh shit, something's really happening, danger, okay? If you, in the run-up to the danger, have already been having all these fears, they cloud, they're literally getting in the way. They are clouding your ability to cope. There's too much muddle there. There's too much mess there. There's too much fear that you've brought into the situation that you can't actually see clearly enough how to respond effectively, because there's just too much going on, okay? So if you take the chaos of your fear into the situation, then it just ruins that clarity totally. Now, I'm not saying things don't happen that are horrible, because they do, but you can't respond as effectively to something when it happens if you've gone in with all this stuff clouding it. If you've been all negative and down and you start to get those thoughts of, oh God, I knew this was happening, oh, I saw this coming, that's not helping you deal with it. That's not helping you to move on from it. That's keeping you stuck in it. And what I'm hoping is that by sharing this with you, there's a part in your brain that goes, God, that makes sense. Because actually, yeah, why am I living in this fear? Just let it go. Because it is just fear. And if you can try and get it so each day is just more level, and you might be dealing with something really horrible when the red thing comes on the human level, okay? But if you go into it being clearer and more optimistic, then here, look, you can see what to do, and the solutions have the space to get in. And that's where there's a green dot in each of these images that I've created here, right? Is that the green dot, which is the solution, can't get in if there's too much crap in the way. It's a bit like the egg being fertilised. Don't know why it is, just is. There's an analogy there somewhere that I'm sure will come to my head better, and I'll verbalise it better. But if you've got if you're taking less anxiety, less fear, more calmness into the situation, then the green dot's there. You get to respond appropriately from a more heart-centered space without the confusion and the chaos of all the stuff you were fearing. Because the thing about fear is, if you start to think that there's something coming, then you're looking for signs for it to come. And there is an element that it will happen because of the fact that you're looking for it. You'll find a way to mould anything. There's two things. You'll find a way to mould anything into the thing that you're fearing, but also you're putting that energy into the universe. So again, you choose. You choose what your fear profile looks like. Do you want it to look like that? Like I had every day, rifling through the drawers, looking for signs that he was doing stuff, having an affair, every day, twice a day, even though he'd not been home. Adrenaline pumping. Adrenaline pumping like I was in real danger. Oh, and I think it was, actually, do you know what? We lost my nan, my cockatiel and a cat, and also one of my favourite bands. There was a fire at one of their gigs and one of the band members died. But I didn't know about that actually until afterwards. But all of that happened in a weekend, and it was like that weekend just went, it's too much. Life's too short for this. Or it was all too close together. You know how these things happen. And I just had that moment of, do you know what? I was the one locking myself into this. And every day felt shit because I was the one fearing stuff. And I just went, right, I'm going to let go of that fear. And that's what I had to do after I started to feel the fear this morning, was just go, let it go. Because it is just fear. It's worry about something which might never happen, or which might actually not have an impact because you might win the lottery tomorrow. You just don't know what the answers are, okay? So in the journal, I then talk you through, okay, so what do you want your fear profile to look like? You know, light dots, ideally. And then it's okay. You're going to be okay. It says words every one of us wants to hear, and we used to hear as children, but not so much as adults. People don't say that to you as adults. We don't want platitudes, but the truth. And people assume we've made it this far, and we often put on a persona which suggests we have it all under control, but from time to time we just want to know everything's going to be all right. That's reassurance. So how do you get reassurance? You learn as much as you can about how you can help yourself to cope with all the situations that come your way. And then we look at this now. In the journal, we'll go through that in a bit more detail. If you were told to build a new building, you'd need some tools and equipment, right? Well, that's what this journal can be for you. If you want to build something new, this can be a really good tool for you to work through to build what you want to do. So I say, in my story, I don't tell you I'm the richest person on the planet or that I'm always stable and confident, because sometimes I'm not. If you'd have seen me a couple of days ago, not great. But the fact I know I can help myself means I no longer fear all the things I used to be scared of. Honestly, I used to be told by my friends that I would worry that I worried too much, or I would worry that I wasn't worried, or I would worry about any... I did. And I moved on from that person. I've moved on from that energy. Because I can understand now that it was my fear that was kind of putting up this fuzzy shield around me. I just couldn't see out to all the positive things to invite them in. Now that's a really interesting thing that Steve gave me at one point as a message in the Rockstar Angel book, was about, it's like having a muddy motorbike visor. The fear is the mud, and funnily enough, right behind this webcam there's a splat of mud that my kid threw at the window because he's an amazing child. And I'm being told something by spirit. Sorry, hang on. Thank you. Did it for the analogy. So, okay. If the fear is the mud on the window, I can't see out the window. I've left it there for a few days. If I go and clear it off, I can now see who's coming. I can see the postie. I can see anything I need to. But, do you know what? I quite like the splat. It's quite comfortable. I'm just used to it being there. Don't even notice it anymore. And that's the other thing with fear. Sneaky little bugger tries to become your best mate. Tries to make you think that's who you are. That's a part of you, and you're not. It doesn't have to be a part of you at all. You're feeling the bubbles of fear move! Oh, you mean those? Yeah. Moving around doesn't surprise me. And that's the thing. It is like the good... Oh, hello. Don't put your journal on your keyboard. It is like the goods, the solution's trying to get in, and the fear's going, whoa, don't think so. No, don't think so. Yeah. So, yeah, so basically when you've got fear, you put up a fuzzy shield, you can't see what's happening, you've got mud on your visor, whatever analogy works for you, it's just in the bloody way. It's got to be cleared off. But you're used to being hard on yourself. There will have been a time in your life when things started to change for you, when the fear started to take over a bit more. And so I talk you through some journaling exercises here to kind of just tune in, see what that could have been, how you can overcome that, okay? This is important. Listen up. Think of the dots. Understanding that we can control how we react to something, but that we can't control what happens to us makes the world of difference. So I'll read that again. Understanding that we can control how we react to something, but we often can't control what happens to us makes the world of difference. Now, the other thing with fear is it produces such a strong chemical reaction in your body. So strong. I think the biggest thing for me was actually when COVID hit and there was lockdown. I'd just had a baby, and having had one baby before where I had 8 days off maternity leave and then had to go back to work, when there was a lockdown and there was no work, I felt relief. So the other thing is that by asking fear to step aside, you are saying to yourself, right, I am making the space for those other emotions to come in so I can tune into how I'm actually reacting to things. And then the problem with fear is, like with me and the relief, is the fear goes, oh, but what about that? How are you going to earn money? How are you going to do this? How are you going to pay the mortgage this month? How are you going to do that? And it's like that naggy bitch in your head. And as I've said also in here, it's like a gobby neighbour banging on the door, and there's an exercise to work through which is fab, which is to it gets rid of all its bluster because it's whacking on the door. What happens if you take the door away? Pfft, nothing to whack on. So, understanding that we can control how we react to something, but we often can't control what happens to us, makes the world of difference. When you really learn to understand this, you'll find you have a natural trust in the universe, and you'll also learn to trust yourself. And when you do this, then you can really feel content with whatever happens in life, because you'll know you've got the tools within you, or you'll know how to get them in order to control whatever happens to you. So by making time for your self-care, be it through a journal, be it through reading, be it through chilling out, watching Netflix, whatever is your version of self-care, by making the time for that, but also making sure what it is that you're, maybe not just chilling out in front of Netflix, but giving yourself something that gives you the tools so you can cope, okay, then it doesn't matter what happens to you, you've got what you need to cope. I remember having something years ago, funnily enough, I wrote down all the things that had ever happened that had upset me, and one year, and I was going to take them out month by month and work through them, and one year I got cross, I found the box, I just burnt the whole bloody lot. Too much all at once. I had an awful major release thing going on for months, and I remember desperately wanting people to tell me that, please tell me it'll be okay. They wouldn't. And they not only wouldn't they actually said, I'm not going to do that, I can't do that, I can't tell you, it's all going to be okay. It's like, what the, hey? You know? So, I didn't have the tools back then to deal with this, and the fear just gripped and took over so much on everything. It was awful. But when you sort of learn to understand, you've got to understand your fear, but you don't have to delve into it. And that's not, this journal isn't about that. It isn't about, oh, come on, let's look at your deepest, darkest fears. No, we don't want to do that. We want to give you the skills to move past it and to know that you've got this. So it says when you stop living in fear this way, things start to happen and life starts to change and improve without any effort at all. It's that quest to stop living in fear that's so hard and difficult to fathom if you do it alone. So reach out to people and ask them for help. Who's the number one? If I've gone quiet, you know there's a problem. You all know it. All of you who are currently watching know me well enough to know that. All of you watching know that I am the one that if I go quiet, things are bad. Still pretty shit at reaching out. I've had people reach out to me recently, funnily enough, that I've done like animal readings for, and they go, do you know, I'm really drawn to ask you, what do you need from me? Can I help you? What's going on? Cue blubbing and what have you. And that's what funnily enough, that's my thing over the last 3 weeks is, it's been about 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. People asking if I'm alright. People asking after me. Just burst into tears. It's been happening multiple times a day. Because I've started to shift things. And I now need to get comfortable at being truly authentic and letting people see the real me and telling people how I feel and letting people know when life does feel too stressful with everything that's going on and realising there is a lot going on. So reach out to people and ask them for help. I've done this a few times and been glad I did. As a little Miss Brave Face, I often take people by surprise when I ask for their help. I don't remember writing this. Not weird. It's not weird. You know what I mean. But I asked for inspiration last night before I went to bed and what to put in the journal, and was told to encourage you to tell people when you need help. So, you might not be used to asking for help, but we're about to try and find out to whom you could turn if you needed different kinds of responses to your request for help. Now, I've deliberately put some curveballs in this bit, but I want you to have a think. So, first person that comes into your head, don't need to tell me, just go for it. The person who will try to help me fix the issue. Yes, a bit men are from Mars, women are from Venus, men fix it. Not only men. The people who will reassure me are the people who would tell me how they overcame their stuff are people who turn it around about them. The person who will listen and offer constructive advice is actually everybody that I can see that's watching this at the minute. Currently, that's you lot. No, I feel emotional. Stop being it. No. The person who will have my back no matter what I do is... Okay, and then in the journal there is some free space to journal. But that's just one example of the exercises in here for helping you get shot of fear. No, not helping you get a shot of fear. Helping you notice when it shows its head and say to it, "Nah, hi, but don't need you. Back off, go and sit over there." And how to get the tools to respond so when something does happen, you don't instantly go down the fear route. And that's the thing, it's a bugger. You know, it's enticing, it's dark, it's comfortable sometimes. Sometimes it defines us. I mean, God, I used to say all the time, I would be so scared of change. I'm so scared of change. I never liked change. Well, then I never had any change, positive or otherwise. Bored. Bored out of my skull. I was really bored out of my skull. So, I mean, you know me, I've been on this journey where I've moved, totally changed career. I've totally moved away from all that stuff. All that having to justify myself to people all the time was exhausting. All that having to tell people why I was great. Having to actually say that makes you feel like a right dick. Actually having to say to people, I'm awesome, you know, oh yeah, we're great because we did with the telemarketing, that's what I had to do. And especially when you're not feeling it, you're just lying. It's horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. And you know I've moved out of that. And look at my picture here, if I can get it to show really nicely. That's me. No, other finger. That's me holding a copy of my journal. You see that finger? There's my copy of my journal, and I'm walking towards the light where there are... Come on, focus. Might be easier with the actual picture. Probably would be easier with the actual picture. Which is for sale. I haven't put it up. If you want it, you can buy it. If this calls to you. So you get much more depth of the actual picture. So, in there are hearts. But actually, if you look closer, I purposely did it this way, so she's walking down there. Oh, there's love there. But you can't see yet what's around this bit on this path, can you? Because you're not meant to. That's the point. You're not meant to see until you get around that bush. Then you get to see what's there for you. See, I think about these things. I actually do like this picture. I mean, I'm saying that like I'm surprised, but I had my moments. Oh look, I've done it on the back here, so you get to see a bit closer up. There's the love that you're going back towards. That's why I chose back to love, because for me it's important to get you to feel back to that core state of who you are, the you that's real, the you that is the you that knows your truth. Oh, thank you, Sam, for being so on it. That's sweet. Love it. Good. I'm glad you love it. Thank you. And honestly, I can't tell you how much I used to worry about things, and I have. My vibration has been so weird this week. Like I said, I have cried so many times because of people saying, "How are you?" And then I get caught in that, "Oh well, everyone would be better off if I wasn't here because I'm just a drain on resources," and all that bullshit. That you go down those awful routes, especially when it comes to money, and you're worried about money, and that's just rubbish. Because actually, what has also happened to me today is somebody's reached out to say, "I saw your post about this. Can we have a chat? I'll give you a call because I want you to run a class for a particular organisation." I'm like, "Yeah, bring it on. I'll do that." "Yeah, yes, please." I didn't expect that. Woohoo! New stuffs comes in. Created space, got rid of the shit. But it can be tough. Because it does feel like a blind faith, but none of us know what's happening. None of us can prepare for all eventualities. That's why just get your headspace sorted with things like this journal, so you know how to help yourself to move through things. Now, for those of you watching this, nobody's to write this in the comments because I want only the people that have bothered to stay with me and watch it. To reward them for their loyalty, if you follow the link at the top of the page, you'll get a 60% discount if you enter the code No Fear, capital N, capital F. No Fear. So enter that at the checkout and you'll get 15 quid off the book. So you pay a tenner. Instead of 25 quid, you just pay a tenner. Okay? Ta-da! Plus postage. That's all covered on there. No Fear. That code is No Fear. Exciting. Yes, it is exciting. Clearing out. Ooh, new planetary energy. Oh, new planetary energy. Yes, well. I feel like I need to have a big bonfire when it's not raining. It's weird because I've felt that for a while now. I have Sam, who's watching now, knows that there's a particular painting that I did, funnily enough, of a fire, and I hate it. And I had some strong reactions from it, and people said, "Oh, that reminds me of the forest fires in Australia." Anyway, I still need to burn that, and that needs to go on a bonfire. But yeah, there are exciting things, because I'm hoping when I speak to this person about that particular event, which is to teach people how to use Canva, I can say, actually, while we're at it, I've developed these journals to help people. And I got so excited today because I thought I've ordered one, which is using my, if I move the webcam around. So I've ordered an A5 journal, which is just a confidence journal with that as the picture, and I love it. And I got so excited, and I was about to do a live of unboxing, and then woohoo, I unboxed some mounts. So woohoo, let's honour the mounts that came through, woohoo! But they're not my journal that I was hoping to get through, but that was far too optimistic of me. Look, someone else is messaging me now about this thing. Hang on, who's this? I am... Yes, interesting. Okay, that has reminded me. Earlier today, I messaged a friend to say I'm doing this live and it could be helpful. And she said, "I'm so very angry and pissed off just now at everything in the world. I've been told to breathe and given to the universe, but to be honest, the whole effing lot's not listening." Right. Now, I had that with the MRI scan, right? I tried to do this meditation the night before and it just didn't work, and I had like 3 hours sleep the night before the MRI scan for my knee. Was a bit worried about it, I think. Needn't have been. Didn't go in head first, went in feet first. It was lovely. I was like, it was warm. It was vibrating and like a massage table. Don't get kinky ideas. It's like a vibrating massage table. And the humming. So I had the earplugs in and the headphones on, no music playing. But the humming noise of the machine at one point just started to sound like this Om tuner, which I don't have to hand, but I got it from Bridget, Mary Claire. and it's awesome because it just goes and I could really feel that. So I was just taking what I could, but I also, because I'd only had 3 hours sleep, I decided to try and meditate, and I did. And so I went up and I connected with my angels, and I just went, right then, because they all told me off earlier in the day when I was feeling horrific and crying solidly and worried about the future, and saying to Simon, there's no point me having the MRI scan because I'm not going to be here, am I? And it's just like really deep and dark, horrible rubbish stuff, which I think I'm clearing. They all stood around me and they're like, yeah, you're not doing that easily. No. So I went up and I connected with them. I'm like, right, then, you have to help me now, because I haven't got a bloody clue what the way forward is, and I need you to guide me. And I'm doing all I can, and I want a really, really solid idea of what it is that I'm meant to be doing here. And I just keep getting these bolts of inspiration, like to do this, to share, because somewhere, at some point, somebody is going to have me go through that, which, like I say, was going to be part of what I do as my subscription and all of that thing. Somebody is going to get help from that. And that's what I want, is for people to have that aha moment like I had, where it's like, I'm the one that's bringing all these days down because I'm the one that's choosing to live in fear. Well, that's a waste of bloody time. And it was like something clicked. If it doesn't click for you, it's not the right time. If it does click, brilliant. I hope it does, because that's what you need. And then, like I say, today I get that message, so it's fab. I'm getting lots of positive stuff starting to come through, with still an awful lot of unknowns in the world. But, you know, I'm hoping that actually I can show my kids, if nothing else, how you can conquer fear. And I say conquer, it sounds really odd, but because of the energy work I do and things being about love, it's like the idea of conquering and fighting things. It's all that battle energy, which isn't necessarily what I don't think I mean conquer fear. I mean to recognise it, to see it, and to let it go on by. And to how to do that, because I know when you're bloody stuck in that fear, you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm not letting go of this. Because it's giving me fodder for my brain to think about for hours, to repeat, to go through all the conversations in my head over and over and over again that I might never have with all of those people. Oh, I know, I'll pull some oracle cards, get some insight on that too. For example, as you know, was worried, like I said, I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage, all that. Pulled a card, was like, just don't do anything. Don't reach out to talk to people at the moment, just trust yourself. I swear to you, the card said, like it was a tornado card, don't reach out to people, it'd be fine, you'll be fine, just, your house will be safe, just let it on past. It's like, great. But we all do it, we look for outside things. So what I'm trying to do is help you to get the inside things for your head too, to make it an inside job, as well as it being coming from the outside, like from me or whatever. Help me, lovely. Oh, good. What are you laughing at? Oh, what, the MRI and that? Yeah, I know what you're laughing at. See, I'm going to blush now. Yes, it's, I know, I loved the MRI, it was great. Fab. Apart from the fact that my boobs were hitting the top because you put the table too high up and I was a bit, anyway, whatever. It was very weird. It was I had a really deep, I know that the meditation I had during that MRI was a lot deeper than I know it was, if you know what I mean. My conscious memory of it is nothing compared with what it actually was. And the funny thing as well is, apart from the fact I've just seen blackberries and got very excited that I've got blackberries this year. Yes! Brain's gone. See? Brain fog. Come on, brain. No, it's gone. It's fine. Oh yeah, that was it. After the MRI, And Bridget, I was thinking of you a lot after this. I think because I'd had like the last part of the MRI scan was like the tuner. But I felt a real urge to just ground. So I felt really lightheaded. So I took my shoes and socks off and I walked back to the car across the grass of Aberdeen Royal Infirmary in barefoot. Didn't give a monkeys who was looking. Just needed to ground. Don't care. Don't care what people think. It's fine. Just do it. So there we have it. That's what I did. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. But again, with that, fear, I think I had fear because I've heard people who say they've been in it and it's like being shot at. Well, thankfully never been shot at. Don't know what that's like. They went in head end. Maybe I'd have felt claustrophobic too if that had happened. I don't know. But there was useful suggestions from people that actually did help. And I remember seeing the person who said, "Oh, I fall asleep on them." I think that was my cousin Amanda. And I'm like, well, that's a bit weird. But then I did the same. And I'm pretty sure I snored once too. I vaguely remember going, you know, you do that. I mean, not that I do that because I'm a total princess. But I'm pretty sure I did that and I flinched too. And I was like, I'm really sorry I flinched. Have I ruined it? But no, it's fine. But they kept going, you alright in there, dear? I think they thought I'd passed out. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm cool, thanks. Are you sure? Yeah, fine. And it was great. So I came out of it feeling so much better. Whatever happened, it kind of brought me back in. I needed to be brought back into my body. I'd gone off. I was like not present at all. And it brought me right back to where I needed to be. / connected with spirit on such a deep level. Odd. So there we go. And by the way, there is some hippy dippy in these books, and I'm going to unhippy dippy them for some of the people. I don't know, hippy dippy is really demeaning. Spiritual. I'm going to take out the spiritual bits that are going to freak people out, that aren't in any way interested in spiritual development. So yeah, I will be doing that. So, shameless plug time. Go buy it for a tenner on my store using that voucher code that I gave earlier in the video. Okay, to anybody who's watching. And it's only until Sunday. I've kept that code until Sunday. Okay? And if you want one of my other journals, Shiny Unicorn book, this one is just about really embracing who you really are, working on bolstering your self-confidence. And then this one's really good for helping you with how you interact with other people. Because realistically, we do care what other people think, and we all have our moments where we wonder if we did too much, didn't do enough when we're communicating. So this one's for that. Okay, that's me knocking everything on the floor. I need a bigger space because I am now using this as an art studio, as storage, and frankly, it ain't big enough. And also I was going to have it as an office and a meditation space, but that's all. Don't be you. Thank you. Oh what? Don't what? Don't unhippy dippy them. Is that what you meant? Don't unhippy dippy. Maybe. Don't know. Maybe that's not what you meant. You'll have to let me know. I still haven't finished this picture behind me, which I need to do. Oh, it's really odd getting used to the way to lean. See that? I just need to finish a little bit, make this foreground a bit different. I might take that to my... No, I won't. I was going to say I'll take that to my class tonight, but apparently no, I won't. I should be taking my other canvas. Might do a live from the painting class actually, just so you, like I say, can watch paint dry, because I've got a really good idea on some paint, on a painting that I want to do, and in my head it looks phenomenal. So in reality it'll be phenomenal too, right? Yeah. So yeah. Come on. Yeah. No, you see, I've done some dodgy ones. I was really proud of my I started this pumpkin the other day, and then my darling son came along, and I'm gonna have to show you guys that later in a minute. So he came along and he did the stork and the ghost, and so I was going to do this and do it as a serious business venture card and sell it for Halloween, but then he came along and added his bits, so I can't do that. But I love it, so that's my Halloween one. Olaf. He drew last night. I'll share it with you later. He drew this. He's like, "Mummy, get me a pink pen." Didn't have pink, gave him red. Came, presented me. He's like, "Well, it started off as a unicorn, but it looked more like a cow, so I made it a cow with a party hat." Oh man, I've got to get it framed or something. It's brilliant. It's on the fridge. I've never laughed as much in my life at any present somebody's given me. It was brilliant. Just so good. It's like so funny. So I will take a picture of that and put that in here too. Budding little artist. It's brilliant. Yeah, he's a fabulous one, that boy. He really is. So, right. I am going to just double check that there's no more comments. Sam, thank you for being with me, my lovely. Everyone else watching the replay, thank you for being with me too. Ask any questions, I will answer them. Sam, tell me a bit more about the new planetary energy, if you can. Ping that, don't know if you can go up and ping it under your, reply to your post, because I think it'd be interesting for everyone else to understand a bit what's going on. I was really good at keeping up with that, and then I sort of stopped. Because I'm just experiencing it on so many levels. So there we go. So I hope that's helped you guys. Anyway, you know, the fear and the stuff that just don't listen to the news. Turn it off. Whether it comes on the radio or TV, just don't. Because there is fear. You are going to tap into the collective fear. There's a lot of fear around. My Swiss friends came over from Switzerland, and they said they'd noticed so much more anger and how the energy of stuff up here in Scotland's changed since COVID. And they're not wrong. It really has. So we need to do what we can to protect ourselves, okay? And you're not alone. None of us are alone. Thank you, Steve. Right, so those of you who want to know how I communicate with spirit, sometimes you just get messages in your head that have appeared like they're whole conversations. And that one that just appeared in my head that was like I'd had a whole conversation was along the lines of, and yeah, you need to get your head out your ass and ask for help properly. To me. But he loves me and I know he means well. Anyway, I had a no, I'll go into that on a different live. You'll have to watch the space for that one. But no, I enjoy sharing this stuff with everybody, and I want to really help and make a difference. I know I've been joking around a bit too, but honestly, it does matter to me that I make. Oh, hello. Right, she's answered. It matters to me that I make a difference. So, was massive solar flare Sunday and Mercury stopped being retrograde? Oh, hooray! Did it really? That's good. Mercury's always bloody retrograde, though. It's all the time. Anyway, it's fed up. I saw a really funny post about it saying it was Mercury was fed up of being blamed for the problems. Which it probably is. Yeah, I saw there was a big solar flare, and then I didn't see the northern lights because I think it was cloudy here. And yet they always managed to have these awesome pictures on the coast. But it's like to get kids up and drive to the coast in the middle of the night. Energy's clearing. It's not that easy. So, and no chance of it today because it's pedaling down. So I'm just double checking that there's anything else. He's so cheeky. Yeah, he is. Shall I do a Mac one then? Just for you, babe. Just to tell you, I think I told you about that, how, for those of you that don't know, my rockstar angel came back as my baby. And he started talking to me the other day just as him rather than as my kid, but through my kid. It's quite funny. It's like, hey, babe, blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't be doing that. Oh, okay. Somebody needs to hear this. Okay, spirits appear to different people they were. Spirits appear to different people they were with at different ages. It's more about making it easy for humans to see us and identify us in the best way for them. That's why some people smell us, some hear, some see, some sense, because people have stronger senses than others. Okay, somebody watching this is wondering how I communicate with spirit. That's what that is. That's why there's no universal way humans communicate with spirit. It just is a very personal experience. That's all you need to know. That's what he says. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Right. I think that's done because I've been through a lot. I can feel the energy shifted for me. If you've stuck with it this long, I really hope it's helped you, because that was my intention. Above all of this is to just help, okay? I don't want anybody to feel that they're just not good enough. That's why I've done this whole embracing the Back to Love as my brand and calling it the global movement. I want to get this to millions of people, okay? So that nobody feels that they're not good enough, they're not thin enough, clever enough, beautiful enough, whatever, anything enough. I don't want anybody to feel like that. Because honestly, when we're doing what we love and we're laughing and we've got joy, we're invincible. Whether we're male or female, it doesn't matter, or whatever we identify as, just us when we're connected to our souls. And that's what we need to do. So, you're very welcome. Thank you, Sam, for being there. Sam was somebody that was introduced to me by another friend who's like, you need to meet up, and then we have a good giggle when we're together. on all levels, actually. On a human level and a energetic / spiritual level. You need to be able to do that, have a good laugh with people, don't you? So, lots of love. Do ask questions. I will pop on and answer them. Bear in mind, I do have little tiny sproglings, so at some point you'll probably get phoned by one of them, or no, just keep. If you could share this, the more people that get to see this, the better. And I'm sending you oodles of love. I'm here to help, so ask any questions that you've got. Because in doing that, you're helping me too, because I then learn what it is that I really need to be focusing my efforts on with helping people. Oh, and yeah, also tonight I'm out. Oh, tonight there's a webinar that my friend Anya's holding, which is Shred the Shame. She's the Fearless Freedom Coach and really amazing woman. I'll get her to post her details in here so that she can do that, because she's got this really, really amazing webinar that's free to help women mainly. I think it is geared for women, to just help them with releasing any shame, anything at all, any kind of shame at all. So I will ask her to post her links and stuff in here too. Anyway, lots of love. Feel that? Good.